Good day everyone, and welcome to my MagSorc Battleground build for the Waking Flame DLC. This build is a modification of a tanky Battleground build that was available to Patreons in the previous patch, but since I realized that I did not post anything about Battlegrounds in my latest MagSorc guide, I want to fix that by releasing this build. This build is something that relies a lot on maximum health. As you can see, I have 36.6k max health, and your damage is going to come from your spell damage stat and your proc sets, because this is a cheesy proc set build. There's no way to go around it. I'm using two of those new sets that they released this DLC, and it can sometimes be absolutely ridiculous how this build functions in Battlegrounds. You will see this in the gameplay that I will be posting afterwards as well. But in any case, next to that, the maximum magic and maximum stamina are rather low, but that's not a problem because I don't rely on those much. It's mostly the sustain that will make sure that my stamina management will be good. Magic recovery is a little bit on the lower end, but with that stamina recovery sustain, I can use the Dark Conversion skill to have a lot of sustain and healing on top of that, because the main sources of healing in this build are going to be the Clan Fear heal in conjunction with Critical Surge and Dark Conversion. Often I'll be doing a Dark Conversion cast and then a Clan Fear heal right afterwards. More about the skills in a bit. First, for the sets, so as I mentioned, two of the new proc sets. The first is Plague Break. I'm front barring that on Inferno Staff. Plague Break is a bit of a hybrid proc set, and in Battlegrounds this is going to spread out a lot of pressure on just about every enemy. And if you happen to be fighting against a Templar on a Warden, you've really hit a jackpot with this set, because every time they purge, they will have a lot of damage outgoing to their allies. Next to that, Templars will also put down that purge synergy that allied players can use. Those as well will be proccing that set, and in that way this will be one of your main sources of damage. That's just how ridiculous this new proc set can be. And the other one is equally ridiculous, Dark Conversions. I'm backbarring that one on an Ice Staff. I'm going to proc that with Elemental Wall here, Blockade of Frost. I don't think I need to explain how the set works or what it does, because I'm sure that by now everybody knows what it does. So basically I'm backbarring this with an infused weapon damage enchant. Basically this will constantly keep up that 552 weapon damage no matter what bar you are on when your ice wall is down. Front bar I have the Escapist Poison, simply because it gives you CC immunity, which is really nice to have in the Battleground. It also roots the enemy. If that happens while they are in the Dark Conversion AoE, yeah, they're going to get hit for a lot of damage with it. I'm also running Malakav's Band of Brutality, and then the last is 2 Balorg and 1 piece Trainee for the maximum health. I do want to have a large amount of maximum health to get that big Clan Fear heal. I will show the stats and the character screen in a bit. But just to go over all the gear real quickly, as I mentioned, Balorg is my monster set. It can be anything you want. You can also slot Magma Incarnate or Bloodspawn, but Balorg is really nice to combine with your ultimate and deal a large amount of burst in that sense, because my main ultimate that I will be using here is Negate. If I cast that Negate down, it's going to not only proc Balorg, but it will also proc Dark Conversions, and if it then sucks in quite a bunch of enemies, it's going to be a huge amount of pressure and control over the enemy groups that you're fighting. Then for the rest of the gear, I'm running 3 light here, so Dark Conversion is a light here, then 3 heavy, the Trainee and 2 Balorg, and 1 medium Plague Break. Ideally you have 3 tri-stat glyphs. I only have 2 because I also use this Balorg on my Bomber, for which I just want to have a maximum magic glyph. But in any case, the tri-stat is to get like a good amount of maximum health mostly. The rest is magic glyphs. Ideally also all impenetrable. I have 2 traits that are not impenetrable yet, but it's a minor thing, because basically this build is already very tanky with the 5 impen. The 2 more will just make it perfect. The jewelry is 3 infused spell damage enchants. As I mentioned, your spell damage stat is also something that will be a source of lots of your damage. But that's it for the gear. Quickly for the characters sheet. I'm a high elf, you can also be a Breton or a dark elf if you want, even an imperial would work. Ideally you're also a vampire stage 3. I am not that because I also play the sorcerer in Cyrodiil, and there I do not like being a vampire, so I just kept it like that. I don't want to go to that quest every time I do a battleground. The food is smoked bear haunch, that's where your large portion of your sustain will come from. I'll actually show that in the inventory screen because the stats shown on the character screen are lower than what it actually gives, you can see. And then next to that, the Mundus is the Aethernock. Now for the skills, I want to have the Clan Fear heal, of course. This is my main burst heal, a huge like, especially with the amount of max health that I will be having. You can see 14k tooltip. If that crits, it will be a lot of healing. Well, if that crits, it will be even more of an insane amount of healing. And then the second source of healing, Critical Surge. This is going to proc from your Boundless Storm and Blockade of Frost. And then your third is Dark Conversion. I've already explained that. Blockade of Frost is here to proc Dark Conversions, but also to snare everybody at all times. Also to get that enchant going on the back bar, give me a lot of spell damage that way. And it's simply a lot of control over the enemies, and even a little bit of damage is, I think, a really nice skill to have in Battlegrounds. Front bar is a bit more classic. Streak as a stun, Crystal Fragments, Curse as a burst ability, and then Force Pills. Force Pills has an AoE component to it that will also proc Plague Break, but in any case it will just spread more damage to the enemy groups more than Crushing Shock would do. Then the frontbar ultimate is Temporal Guard. I basically don't use this thing much, it's just there for the minor protection, but in some very dire situations it can be useful. The main ultimate here on the back bar is Suppression Field. Negate, that will proc Dark Conversion, it will suck everybody in, everybody will be taking a lot of damage, everybody will be negated and able to cast, and they will be snared from Dark Conversion and Blockade of Frost as well. You will be able to see that in the gameplay that follows. But that's basically it for the build. It's quite simply just the two new proc sets with Malakath and Balorg. I will be listing some gameplay now afterwards. In Battleground that went pretty well. But yeah, that's it for the build. I hope you'll enjoy it while these proc sets still last. And yeah, have a good day. Bye.